find the treasure, they want to find it now. They are Kpro and they are Cow. They're going over it and over it and over it again. This treasure hunt created by Forrest Fenn. Sing it! Kpro Cow Pow Wow. Kpro Cow Pow Wow Wow. It's the Kpro Cow Pow Wow. Marion and Indy are what they are like, although their real names are Christy.
I can make that much money in 5 seconds.
All right, that works. I just wanted to make sure the soundboard was good to go. Sorry, everybody. I didn't mean to cut that off. Or did I? All right, everybody. It is Monday, April 12th. You know what that means, the Kpro Cow Pow Wow. How you doing, Kpro?
I have had a long day because I'm beginning to box. I am beginning to get into the motherly den type of thing. And so it's been a long day. And it's like 90 degrees here.
You mean box?
Yeah.
They're not going to know what you meant.
I'm boxing up because we're moving, baby. We're moving.
Boxing. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Your arms are too short to box with God. Anybody remember what that's from? Is that a play or something? No. Anyway. All right, everybody. Soundboard is on. Soundboard check is good. Albert, how you doing? So we got an interesting one for you all tonight. Kpro has put together yet another of her patented powerful PowerPoints to prove a point. And she does. And it's kind of interesting. And yeah, we're going to have to let you decide. We're not at the conspiracy theory bridge because this is actually fact. Kpro is just using logic, maybe, to give her point of view. But it's a fact what we're talking about. And, you know, whether you guys believe it or not, that's just up to you. So, yeah, what's everybody been up to?
Well, I will say I just want to make a comment about this. This is actually factual stuff with a little bit of my opinion. I did do what Jack asked me after we did the Puerto Rico live stream or stream. He said, why don't you just ask me before you come out with your opinions? I did. And he did not respond. So I don't know if he's like, oh, I want to stay away from this one, or if he's upset about Puerto Rico, because obviously he was upset at that time. I don't know. I just want everyone to know I did email Jack at the beginning of this just to see if there was meritable, and silence sometimes says a lot. Ooh, dun, dun, dun. Okay, so thumbs up, subscribe. We only about have half of our viewers actually subscribe. So we would like you to hit subscribe, hit thumbs up. Super chat is on. There are some things, you guys, some of you are going to be frustrated with me tonight. There is not any identifying information of some of the people involved in the PowerPoint. I haven't named the person like Mr. Voff or whatever. I've gone as far as I'm willing to go. I think in life two can keep a secret, and I think a lot of people know Jack's secret, and it's starting to come out, in my opinion. And night is the night, I will say, a searcher knows the general location of where Jack solved the Forrest Fenn treasure hunt, and it's going to be coming out, in my opinion. And I'll tell you all what happened, and I lay it out in a PowerPoint. Some people ask me, hold on one second. Hold on.
So one of the other things that we are going to do tonight, everybody, is we're going to do another giveaway. So Atlantic Coast, I don't know if you're in the room, but Atlantic Coast was nice enough to send us the Hunt for History treasure hunt. You're going to get the map and the code book that goes with it. And we're going to do exactly like we did on the last show. And that is go comment on this video link right here. I just put it in the chat. If you go comment on that video, then we are going to do comment picker at the end of the show tonight. And somebody absolutely free is going to get that treasure hunt. If you don't know, that is a treasure hunt in Washington County, Indiana, for 12 pounds of silver, just out there waiting to be found for somebody to send in the correct solution. So, yeah, if you're interested in getting the Hunt for History, then go comment on this video. That's another channel that me and Kpro have started. It's called Chasing Vegas. It's all things related to Vegas. And we're just starting out. So if everybody could go there and subscribe and thumbs up to that video and go comment on it if you are interested in the treasure hunt. So we'll do that at the very end.
Yeah, the one cool thing, if you know anybody that wants to go to Vegas, I am shocked. I'm a part of 3 Facebook groups now that are all things Vegas, and it's when people are coming to Vegas, and it is amazing how many people are coming to Vegas and they just have basic questions like, I'm staying at Bally's, where would you eat? It's like, oh, I know, or where do you play poker? Or what are the pools like? Or, whatever. So if you know anybody coming to Vegas, have them subscribe to the channel. I'm hoping to get some kind of some cool ins with some people that I know of, some tours that hopefully nobody else has. Anyway, people are, because I get a little ding every time there's oh, a lot of you are over there. A lot of you are cool. So thank you everybody for doing that. And so do we just want to dive right in?
Yeah, I think so. Let's just
Okay.
dive right into it. Let me get a couple things set up.
Really, tonight is not going to be one show or two shows. It's really 3 things all in one. So there's 3 different things that have happened in the last week related to the hunt. So um, I'm going to go over the biggest one that I think happened, and then I'm going to clarify something that I've said, and a lot of people have asked me, why do I think there was a note in the treasure chest, and why do you call it legal documentation? I'm going to give that clarification from Jack, from Jack's words, and then I'm going to go. Well, I have an agenda slide, so let's go straight in to the hello Fendi. Oh, and some of you have asked, how is the photo analysis coming? The person that did the report and did the analysis on the photos needs a second person to verify his findings, and he's doing a peer review of it right now. And so it was supposed to be out last Friday. They need until this Friday. I don't know if that means there's a finding and they need someone to look it over, or if that means there was no findings and this guy just wants to double check. I don't know these things. The only thing that I know is it is delayed by a week, and I don't really know what that means. 5 people will get it. It will be up on Thor. We will have it here. If I can make sense of it, we'll review it here. There's been a lot of analysis up on Thor. I know some people are frustrated. I'm trying to get to new registrants as quickly as possible. It's rocking over on Thor. There's lots of good discussion. I don't understand all the photo analysis mumbo jumbo. You kind of lose me through it, but it's interesting all the same. So come on over to hintofriches.com. If you get snarky and nasty, especially on your first day or two, I know you're probably someone else and you go on your way. But a good discussion, good place for discussion on the last parts of this chase. I don't call it the treasure hunt because it's not just about the treasure. Go ahead, Mike. Cowlazars.
Eleanor, I actually have an email from you from Mysterious Writings. Eleanor was one of our big winners on our giveaway last show, and she won the Masquerade Treasure Hunt. So when the show's over, I will email you what you got to do, Eleanor. I just didn't get to it today. I got an email today. There you go, Chasing Indy. Come on out. So again, I'm going to take some notes on this one. Not that it's complicated. Can you see that? But that it's interesting. So yeah, you guys may want to take notes on this one as well. Here's the other thing on that other channel we were just talking about, Chasing Vegas. Me and Kpro, we went live for an hour. We just walked up and down the Las Vegas Strip. Now, the quality wasn't the best, and I'm researching how you can go live without Wi-Fi where it's a good quality, and we'll take care of that in the future. But yeah, you saw the girls. You saw the crazy people. You saw me and Kpro. We played a slot machine at the Aria. We got a drink. We walked around the whole time. The camera was live. So you got to see it all raw and unedited. So Chasing Vegas, go check it out.
Well, and a new phenomenon, or at least I think it is, there's always girls that have all the flowers and the guys. There's fewer guys. But there was a lot of guys just holding snakes, and you pay them to like have the snake on you.
Yeah.
I have never remembered that previous time, and more than one. There was several, and it was
I think next time you need to hold it, and then I'll record it for the vlog. You got to try new things for the vlog. That's the whole reason. All right. Hello from Wheatland, Wyoming. What's up, Craig? You didn't move, did you? Or did you? That's Wheatland, Wyoming. Okay. Copper Dan says #girls. It's kind of what Vegas is about. Okay. All right, everybody, here we go. Let's jump right into the PowerPoint, and let's see what you guys think. It's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, and so as we go through, I'm going to stop at each slide. Mike and I have a little bit of an echo because we're in the same room. You guys can't see me, but we're in the same room. But just put @Kpro or at Cowlazars. If you like what you see, you can also super chat, and Mike plays that ridiculous soundboard. We don't need that. So just put at Kpro. We don't need
Some
that.
of those sound clips have been deleted that we played last time. So we're not doing the soundboard super chats this time, guys. All right, here we go.
He got in trouble. Happy wife, happy life. Okay.
Kpro, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Can 2 keep a secret?
Nope. Impossible.
Hmm.
I have never. Is there any secret out there that has been kept? Have you ever told one person something and they've never told a soul?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'd have to think about that one. Now we know Forrest always said that because I think Forrest meant he knew the secret, and whoever else may have known the secret was gone. A lot of people thought that was father. Maybe it was somebody he knew in academia. We just don't know. But right now, we know that Forrest is gone, and we know that Jack knows the secret. But is there somebody else that knows the secret? Well, that's what this PowerPoint is about. And then there's going to be some clarification. So I'm going to let Kpro take it away.
Yeah, and my question is, do I think 12 people can keep a secret? No. I think at least a dozen no, or that's adding up some things, some people that I've talked to that are quite close to Jack. Definitely 12 can't keep a secret. But here's an interesting situation that came out over this last week. So let's just jump in. I'll go over real quick everything we're covering. And then I know that I built this, so it's in my mind. I will slow down, ask any questions.
And I'm going to play devil's advocate and ask some of the questions that I believe everybody might be thinking, or at least I am as we go through this.
Yeah. And Mike and I try to have Mike review these just for typos. We don't really discuss them in length because we want to save that for here. Okay, go. Okay, so there was a posting on Facebook about Jack's first search, and a person communicated with Jack. I followed up with this person, and there's some interesting things to discuss there. Then the second step is I went to the email database that Jack, that is over on both Thor and Reddit, and where people are, there's a person building up a database of all of Jack's emails. Oh God. And went into that database for pertinent quotes. I did try to contact Jack, did not get a response, but I have some conclusions.
We did
Jack,
get a super chat.
If I'm Italian, I'd say grazia.
Grazia to Copper Dan for the $5 super chat. He says, I'll super chat $100 if Kpro holds that snake. So the next time we go out, if there is, because next time we're going out, it's going to be Fremont Street, which is 10 times crazier when we go live and walk. If there is one, I will try and get her to do it. Joshua Seldenbridge, another one of our big winners.
If I were German, I'd say Danke Shane.
Danke Shane to Joshua for that $2 super chat. He says, I only came here for the reject soundboards. And I think I may have to come up with some new soundboards in the future. Okay, keep going.
Here's how I see the soundboard. It doesn't have to be 1 or 10, like totally inappropriate or a thank you. There can be something in between. Totally inappropriate. And Mike, just remember, if I would say your mom's in the room, but she's always in the room. If you know that I would get grumpy about it. Anyway, love the soundboard. You guys all love it. I'm not.
It's all in fun. All the drops are in the spirit of fun. No personal attacks, not trying to make fun of anybody. So hope nobody takes any of these personal. But thanks for the super chats, guys. We appreciate it.
Okay, so that's the first thing. That's kind of the first 4 bullets are part 1. Part 2 is Jack has made a statement on his dropped, and Mike, you got the wrong year. So it was before. He dropped this before that he was supposed to be on AGK. I talked to Toby, or I corresponded with Toby. He gave me an answer. I went back to him again and said, are you sure? And I have that information because you'll see how 1 and 2 correspond in a minute. And then there's a clarification on the note in the chest. And I want to talk about all 3. So we might be here all night. Get your popcorn. It's going to be fun.
Get your drinky drinks, because tonight I think we may just have some. I think it might be some breaking news, everybody, especially if you haven't heard it. You may have heard it, but you may not have heard it compiled in that special way that Kpro does. So here we go. We ready for the next one?
Okay, so here we go. So a searcher was up on Cowlazars and Kpro's Grand Adventure and posted about the special place would be destroyed if the spot got out. And I started getting some messages. Even though I saw it, I thought it's an interesting comment, but I didn't think much of it. But then this FenTuber said Jack, emailed me when he was searching his first trip out. I'm good with knowing the general spot. I don't need specifics. This is when my messages on Facebook began to blow up. A searcher knows the spot. So some questions started popping up in responses to this person and said, do you think the spot is dangerous? And they said, I would say not really, but to stay observant and respectful of any wildlife you might encounter. But then some were like, wait, so Jack told you, but you're not going to tell us? And I'm highlighting for emphasis here. No, Jack emailed me after his first trip out there and mentioned where he searched that trip. Jack said that on a subsequent trips, his target area changed. So I only know for sure where he went the first time. That's going to become important later. And with other things he has mentioned, I'm fairly confident I know a radius of where he found it. He asked me not to mention where he searched, and I'm respecting his wishes. Okay, let's stop for a second and absorb that.
Let me ask a couple questions. And again, I'm trying to focus through the chat, so I may ask a question what you just explained, but I may ask it again. So we know that Jack has said the special place would be destroyed if Spot got out. We get it. But there is a searcher who is saying Jack emailed me where he was searching his first trip out. Did you say when the searcher got that email from Jack? Or is that later?
On the next slide.
That's later. Okay. So there is a searcher who says, yeah, Jack emailed me and told me where he was searching first trip. And it's like, okay. And then they, instead of pressing Jack, they were like, I don't need specifics. I'm good with just that general location that he told me. It is somebody that we're not going to name, everybody. I think it was Alan K already said, another source. Yeah, it is somebody.
No, and a lot of you guys know who this is because they posted it with their name. They did not get their name. I just have not gotten permission. I have known this person for years. And this is somebody that I will tell you I know and trust. I don't think they'd make this up. And I did text. That's how much I know the person. Has my telephone number. Text the person and said, can I give your name? I did not hear back, so I don't feel comfortable with it. I think so many of you messaged me when this went down. I think a lot of people know. I'm just not willing to go that far. But I mean, how many tubers are there that? Well, anyway, let's go on from that because this is
okay.
Yeah.
And then questions from other searchers to this searcher where they posted this and they were like, do you think the spot's really dangerous? They'd say not really, but to stay observant and respectful of any wildlife. You know, if you're in bear country, well, duh, you got to look out for bears, that type thing. And yeah, so the key point here is that Jack emailed this searcher where he went on his first trip. All right.
Okay, so I went a little further and I just contacted the person directly and said, okay, so you know the spot? And they said, I don't know the spot. And I'm going to put exact in there. That's my words, exact spot. They explained, I searched my old emails after Jack came out, and he had emailed me in 2018 after his first boots on the ground. He mentioned where he was on his first trip. Again, that'll become important later. I congratulated him in the response to that email. So rather than starting a new email like all of us do, just hit respond. And Jack's response, here's Jack's response. I'd appreciate it if you didn't share the details of that first email. I don't want people to get any ideas about the very first place I did recon and start jumping to conclusions. Oh, this gets so good after this. Guys, hang in there. You guys are all rejecting this. Oh, no, this is BS. Just hang in there.
Yeah, wait
for it. Keep an open mind just for a minute because I've learned from you guys. I know you're skeptics. So just ride the little train for a second. I asked if inside or outside the park. And they said, I don't know with absolute certainty. I can't answer that question. Meaning, was this the spot that he moved from? They only know the first time Jack went out. So is the first time Jack went out where he actually found the treasure? And I'm going to put a couple of things out there as evidence for you to make up your own mind. After that, if you guys want to dismiss it, I'm okay with it. GPS ended up being wrong. Mr.
Maybe.
Foff probably is wrong. Maybe. All these maybes. It's just informational, but.
So, well, I think the question. So you questioned the searcher who made this original post and said, "Well, was it in the park or outside? At least tell us that." And they said, "Well, I don't know with absolute certainty. I can't answer." But you know what that means? It means the general vicinity is by the park. If you have a general vicinity in Thermopolis, well, obviously that's not in the park. But if you have a general vicinity that's up there by West Yellowstone, and somebody says, "Well, I don't know with absolute certainty," to me, it means it's in that area. That's all. That's all I take.
In my opinion, this was actually in reference to, I'm not sure with absolute certainty, was it the place that Jack first went to or a place that it sounds like he went to a place first. He discarded it for a little bit, went to a couple of other places. So he has searched more than one area. Since they didn't know if this is actually where he found the treasure, that was never discussed, I don't believe. That is why. Yeah, Lisa, I thought he said the same thing. So I'm going to be putting out the facts as we know them with all these different quotes. And then there's actually a searcher that asked a similar question today, and it is included at the end of this. So there's still a little bit here. So let's get through a couple things from Jack.
And just to make it clear for anybody who missed it on your PowerPoint right here, a searcher came out and said, "Hey, Jack emailed me and told me where he went on his first search." And then after you contacted them, they were like, "Well, once Jack came out as a finder, I searched my emails and I had a email from Jack way back in 2018. This is before he found the treasure chest, everybody." To me, that's important. To me, that's like, oh, so Jack was actually emailing people before he found the treasure chest. That's interesting. And then to know this is the place where Jack searched first is interesting. Where he went on his first trip. Okay. Ready to continue on?
Nope, not yet. Hold on. X marks a spot. Have you ever been right, Kpro? No, I haven't. X marks a spot, and neither of you. We don't have the treasure chest. Holy, didn't Jack say he was within 6 feet very early on? Yes, that becomes important later and clarifies it was his first trip is where he found it. That's why I think a searcher now knows. I think more than one, and I'm going to get into that in a little bit.
Greg Carter's got a good question. How is Jack related to the searcher, and why did he email him? Can you answer that? I mean, I can't. I don't know the answer to that.
Okay, I'm going to give you my opinion only, and this is in the conclusions part. Jack said in his video he tried to get on AGK, and that didn't work out. He's now contacted a second tuber in 2018. Jack could have filed a motion at the time that he was outed, but didn't. He had his own YouTube. He doesn't seem very shy from his past experience behind or in front of the camera. In my opinion, I think he wanted to be in the limelight a little more than he might portray sometimes. So, I mean, why did he have a YouTube channel? He couldn't get on AGK. How many of you out of the 250 watching have a YouTube channel about Forrest Fenn? He was that eager to get his opinion out. In my opinion, that is why, if that makes sense.
Well, here's another one. And I thought of this last night. I think I asked you when we were first talking about this. Is it the same email that Jack has given to everybody else? So in other words, that email he put in the Medium article saying, email me if you have questions. This searcher said, well, let me see if somebody from email me before he found the treasure chest. It's the same email.
I did not ask that specific question. I just know I searched my email on the email address and the name. And oh my gosh, I probably have right now, I think it came up with like 3,000 emails, but most of them were, I went way back before the find. So yeah.
Okay.
Well, wait, there was, I think somebody already took, how would you know this person to be in contact with Jack after the first visit? Seems a little strange, but I like strange. Nomadic Madman, how would this person be in contact with Jack? So Jack sent an email to a tuber. Let's say it was Mike. And then it wasn't, and then Jack comes out and Mike goes and checks his email and goes, oh my gosh, I have an email from Jack from 2018 telling me where he went. And does it when Jack's like, here's my email, he just replies to the email and says, hey, congratulations. You contacted me back in 2018. Awesome. And the answer back is, please don't share that with anybody. That location, I don't want anyone, whatever he said. I don't want anyone making assumptions. That's what and I have to tell you, I have not met this person in person. I have talked on the phone. I have had communications enough. I do not believe this person is a liar. That doesn't mean much. If you guys don't know who it is and you don't know my judgment is sometimes wrong. This is an authentic person, in my opinion. And that's probably why Jack reached out, just like AGK. So we know that he's reached out now to 2 tubers. That tells you something too about Jack, because I think it was Why I Must Go said, but Jack said he did it totally on his own and he didn't contact any searchers. I never knew that he said that, like he was never on the forums. I remember something vaguely, but it sounds like from his own words on his own video, he says, I was going to be on AGK. It got rescheduled, so here's my video. He was that eager to get his voice out there. He won't do it now, but he was willing to do it in 2019 on confirmation bias. This is still not making sense. You know what I mean? But for me, it's groundbreaking information because, one, I trust this person. I believe it. If you believe it, that means a searcher knows the final location based on some stuff that I will get into in just a minute.
And Mary,
so the source is a tuber. Must Listen Good says, is the source a tuber? Yes.
I've actually met, now that I think about it, I've actually met this tuber before. But Mary Green says, why did Jack email this person? And is the person on any forums? I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know why Jack would have emailed this person. What's interesting to me is how many other people has Jack emailed and they don't realize it was him, because we don't know if it was the same email address that he put in the Medium article. Or was it another email address he had back then? And he just, Jack, this is Jack Stoof. It's just nobody would have, I get emails every day that I just kind of blow by. You know what I mean? I move them to a solution folder and go, okay, tell me about your boots on the ground. It's fun to read, but I'm not going to remember all those emails. So our point here, I guess, is if he emailed one person, the general vicinity of his first trip before he found the treasure chest, how many other possible people has he emailed? And Kpro puts it together on why the first trip is important. So let's go back.
Yeah, I do not have the location. Mike Neilon says, did this person tell you the location? No.
Yeah, no, we do not have that location, everybody. Yeah, just to be clear.
Okay, and this part of because sometimes I don't tell Mike but I would probably tell him this one. Not if they told me not to. Anyway, William, why would the tuber need to keep Jack's anonymity? Oh, that's such a good question. Seems the search community wouldn't need to keep the location a secret. So in my opinion, this is just my opinion, if you are a tuber, you're there more for the community than yourself. That's just my opinion. You guys might scoff at that or not. I do find it interesting. And especially the tuber said, I know the general location and that's good enough for me. That got me closure. I believe that we get 90% of people closure. So it's kind of interesting. Source must be on the forums. If Kpro said they posted their real name. No, on Facebook, kind of your real name. I don't have my real name, but you know who it is if it's on Facebook. The forums are different.
Because we know who people are.
Yeah, you can use handles, but Facebook, yes.
So, yeah, well, I would invite this person to come on our show and tell their side of the story if they want to, or they can make their own video. I'm sure they'll see this at some point. And yeah, maybe at least they could tell us why they're not going to say, why they feel it's important to not say. And they have a right to that opinion. But I invite them to come on and explain it if they want to.
I would be blessed if they decided to do that. I would also be okay if they just went silent on some things. I know some people are taking a very strong stance right now. They know a lot and they used to be on the forums and discuss and all that. They're getting more from Jack being kind of silent right now. And the same thing with Forrest. Once I became tubing, it was harder to have conversations because of things. Yeah.
Now, Why Must I Go has a good question. It says, what if in 2018 all his solves were failed, and then in 2019 he used someone else's solve in a totally different area? So why is it important that, and we're going to get to that, I think, why is it important that this was his first trip?
For me, so I take it a little bit differently, that I know some people that their original idea? Would they need to get a cut? All of that, if they put it up on the internet, is it copyrighted? All of that. I think that would be the reason. If he did get it from somebody else, I don't know the legal issues. Like if I posted my solve up in 2019 and maybe I just missed it by 6 feet and Jack took it then, I don't think that's what happened, but I think that's the premise of what Why Must Go is asking. It's possible. I don't think it's probable based on the information we're going to get to. I know your mom named you Doug. I use the name Thor because the Hint of Riches, and I've never been on Facebook, so I'm actually Chris Thor, and it's so funny because people are like, "That's so cool that your name's the same name as the Hint of Riches." I'm like, guys, it's not. You guys all know the person that docs. I mean, it's out there. It's not a big deal, but that's not. I'm Chris Thor because it's just fun to have kind of an alter ego. Okay, I'm not going to give out personal information on this person. So let's keep going,
All right,
right?
here we go.
'Cause I think this is where it kind of gets interesting.
Yeah.
So let's take the premise of, so this tuber is saying he emailed me where he was on his first trip, but he said he went to a couple of different ones. Jack told me, do not share it. I'm going to honor that. The place could be destroyed, which I find really interesting that they would say that. Okay, and isn't disclosing it to the community. Okay, so let's get into, okay, next slide. So I'm going to get into a couple of quotes that from this database on Reddit. And this database also covers the official information out there that like the news releases and Medium and all that. So let's go into a couple things to see, because at this point it's like first trip, or is there's other areas he seems to have searched. That was new information to me. I thought he only searched one area, he solved it in 3 weeks, and then it was just finding the final spot. So let's go through a couple of those quotes. Next slide, please. I've never met Forrest until June, and it was destined to be our only time together in person. In the summer of 2018, the only time I talked to Forrest on the phone before finding the treasure. I called him to tell him in desperation I had found the blaze. The mark in the poem says, the mark that the poem says points to the treasure that seemed, after some effort to me, to have been faked by a cruel fellow searcher, even though it had evidently been there for years. I couldn't believe the chances. I told him exactly where I had been searching, but the call only lasted about 20 seconds. So we know if he's calling Forrest in 2018 saying the fake blaze, we know the fake blaze was 1,000 feet from the actual spot. So that would say he had the exact spot in 2018.
That sounds like a general vicinity to me. 1,000
Yes.
feet away is still the general vicinity. Okay, interesting. I see where you're going.
Okay, that's the first one. So I just have a couple quotes that are going to support that he had the general location in 2018. Next slide.
Now, Watto Man says, who keeps emails from 2018, 3 years old? Oh, I have many. What about you, Kpro? I mean, I do go through and delete. Mostly I set up folders, and all the solutions that have been sent to me, I put them in a solutions folder. They're more than 3 years old. They're from 2016 and forward. So what about you, Kpro?
I agree. Same thing. Yeah. Okay, he told me that the one reason it took him 2 years to retrieve the treasure, this was Dan Barbarosi. You can go up on this database and find all of these. Even after figuring out the general area in 2018 was the blaze. Fenn, all important final clue, found out in the wilderness intended. So right here, he figured out the general area in 2018. I'm just going to kind of beat a dead horse here because there's about 8 or so, but then there's a big one at the end. So let's keep going. Okay, I figured out the location where he wished to die, and thus where the treasure was back in 2018. I don't know if you can get any more exact than that, but it took me many months to figure out the exact spot. I spent 25 full days of failure looking for the treasure at the location before getting it.
But so far, none of this means that the location the searcher got in the email is this location. They were just in the same year. Would you agree with that?
Yes, until later. And then today's quote that went up on Thor, it's like, okay, there's a smoking gun. But this is all I had up to that point. It was a little bit of a stretch until you'll see. But I still wanted to keep this in because it builds. How soon after getting to your TTOTC book did you have your search area pinned down and gone on your first search? It was a matter of weeks, less than 2 months. I had the germ of an idea and went out there. I did also do some recons in the same area, but I went out there principally because this location did have evidence in its favor. As time went on, as much as I didn't want the treasure to be there, I found too much evidence to reasonably believe it could be elsewhere. So he basically saying he went to the first spot, he tried to recon some others, but he kind of got back to the first spot. It's not said exactly like that until the next slide.
And here we go.
Okay, the next slide after this, but sorry, there's one more. Had the blaze not been damaged, do you believe that you would have found the spot on your first trip in 2018? Or did you really need to know what blaze you were looking for in order to identify it, regardless of condition? That's tough to say because I wasn't tracking myself with GPS or being systematic enough in 2018. But my feeling when I first went there early in the search season in 2019 was that it was an area of the forest I had never been to before. So probably not. If I had gone to that area, I probably would have needed some luck to notice it without the damage because I didn't know what I was looking for. Now, this one's interesting because this one kind of made me waffle. Maybe he didn't find,
Right.
but I think we're talking about the same area. Like when we went to DeLacy, there was one pasture of trees. We went 1,000 feet over to another pasture of trees, but all of it was DeLacy. So I think what he's saying by this is it's all still in the same general area. This one actually got me questioning myself until the next slide. I put a boom.
Boom.
A searcher asked Jack directly if he searched more than one location. And here's what he said. This is the exact quote. I don't have it screen captured because I just saw it today and I didn't screen capture it. But go up on Thor, Redneck Girl or Country Girl or Redneck Country Girl, something like that. She posts her emails. I think she does 1 or 2 a week. I looked at a couple places in 2018. But they were more recon mission to see if ideas I had were possible matches to the poem, and they weren't. Those were the result of forcing myself to come up with new ideas because I didn't want to get stuck in confirmation bias and on the same location despite going there and finding nothing. Here's the big, this is his quote. Later, I had collected enough evidence that I couldn't deny the first place I had searched has to be, I think he meant had to be the correct location. So he said he found it. He might have reconned other areas, but it was the first area he searched. Is there, I mean, right? That's what it says, right?
That is what it says. Yeah, let's see. I looked in a couple of places in 2018, but they were more recon missions to see if ideas were possible matches. They weren't. Those were the results of forcing myself to come up with new ideas because I didn't want to get stuck in confirmation bias. And on the same location, despite going there and finding nothing, later I'd collected enough evidence that I couldn't deny the first place I had searched has to be the correct location. So that is correct. He's saying the first place I searched is actually the place it ended up being. And I also remember him saying in another answer, or it might be in the Medium article, is that I didn't want it to be in that location. But finally, there was enough evidence that I realized that was it. So it is breaking news in that a searcher in our community has reached out and says, Jack emailed me before he found the treasure chest, told me where he went on his first search in 2018. And then through the investigative work that Kpro has done, Jack has said over in different ways in responses to searchers that first place I went to, that is where I found the treasure chest. And that is, in fact, breaking news, everybody.
Okay,
Only
so we have some
a
questions.
searcher knows. Somebody out there knows the general vicinity.
Right, that a searcher knows now. Much less than good. How does the source know the email from Jack was referring to the very first place he searched? That's what he said. I just searched my first location. And this person believes that they went and searched some other areas, so wasn't exactly sure. That solves it right there. That email.
But right? I think what was that? Why must I go? Oh, must listen good. What they're asking is, how does the source, the searcher, know that what Jack's referring to was the first place he looked in 2018?
Because Jack said that
in the email.
In the email.
Okay.
I have not
got
seen
it.
the email,
Right.
but I had a lot of correspondence back and forth because I also had to catch up. I hadn't talked to the person in a while, so I didn't show all the stuff that back and forth, but we had some back and forth. Yes, first place. Look, see, Lisa sees it. Ooh. He found evidence. Artifact? I don't know if it's an artifact. I'm more going with the premise. Here's my big aha. This is why it's breaking news to me. It's not that he searched one area and then went to other areas and went back. A searcher, in my opinion, knows the general location. My
Right.
opinion. That
And
is pretty big news, in my opinion.
because it's gonna, as soon as one searcher finds out, another searcher is going to find out, and then it's going to come out. Is what our point is. If this isn't correct information, and we believe it is, because the searcher that posted this really doesn't have a reason to lie. I mean, I don't think. Why would you just make that up? It's like, oh wow, hey, I found an email from Jack before he found the treasure chest. It was like an innocent post. Like he told me where he searched back in 2018, the first place. And then Kpro was like, well, wait a minute. Isn't the first place he searched where the treasure was actually found? And going through his answers to emails, that is correct. That is the now, what does general vicinity mean? How many square miles are we talking? But even if it was inside Yellowstone National Park or outside, that alone is breaking news. If in fact this searcher does know, we don't know what general vicinity means. So we don't know, does it just mean Cody? Does it just mean
They said radius.
Yellowstone?
So
Right.
I'm thinking, like, if I was at DeLacy, that would be a couple mile area. It'd be DeLacy Creek this or DeLacy.
That's a general area, right?
Yeah, like Washburn or like Medicine Wheel, like Wymasco. That's a couple mile area. That was sufficient for this person. Now, 3 or 4 people are saying, "Oh my gosh, why didn't you see the email? You need to see the email." Of course, if I could see the email, wouldn't that be fabulous? It wasn't offered. I didn't ask. Communication kind of stopped after I said, "Can I put all this out? And can I put your name out? Or can I put your name out?" And I didn't hear back. And everything has been deleted from Facebook of this person. But I know I see some names in the room. Yeah. That
3D.
alerted me to it. So what if it's not in Wyoming? Billy Shaw.
Well, then all bets are off. Then we have a lot more shows to do if it's not in Wyoming. Super chat from 3D Bronze. Tell me where. We're ready for another one. 3D Bronze. $2.99 super chat. He says maybe the secrets lie within the soundboard. All I know is this.
Well, I didn't know they made 9th place ribbons.
There may be 9th place ribbons, but you get 0 for 9th place. You get 0 for 2nd place. All of us got 2nd place, I guess you could say. But we still want to know. I still want the ribbon for 2nd place, even though you don't get anything else. I just want to know.
Okay, I want to actually go to the next slide, which is my conclusions. And this is as far as I'm willing to go. A lot of you guys have reprimanded me, and I have heard you of not going too far with the evidence that you have. I haven't seen the email for sure. I do know the person, or I feel I know the person well enough, a trustable person. Mike, bring up that next slide.
And Mike Nalen has a question. So now that other YouTubers know the general area, we are not allowed to know it. Well, this one YouTuber is the only person who knows. We don't know if this person has talked to anybody else, but they have not told us what the general vicinity is. But for whatever reason, they have decided to keep it a secret. And maybe they just made that promise to Jack before it was found. How many emails have we gotten, Kpro, that have said, "Here's my solution, but don't ever tell anybody. Keep it in confidence." Right. And we agree.
But it was after when they congratulated. Jack is the one that said, "Can you keep that one private? I don't want people assuming."
I understand. So maybe
they said that. Yeah, maybe just like a lot of you right now are saying, "Would you keep it?" I'm putting enough out that I still feel I'm being genuine to privacy, and I think the person has a YouTube channel and they should come out. But that's just me. They don't have to come on our show. I'd love them to be on our show. They've been on our show many times. So okay.
Or have they? All right.
Okay. So Jack, so here's a couple of things this does for me. Jack did search in 2018 and made contact with a Fenn tuber, perhaps more than one. I'm going to get into that in a second. This kind of says to me, any 1% chance that Jack was a hired gun of Forrest and never was a searcher, I now have discarded because I do trust this person at this point. So so to me, it's 100%. To me, 99.9%, Jack was an actual searcher. So Okay. Jack searched the spot in 2018 in the same general location as the treasure chest. The general location is now known by some or one, at least one. I'm going to get into Toby soon of the discussion because remember, Jack confirmed already he's talked to a different tuber, which was Toby. And that's interesting in itself because it got me thinking. Toby, do you have sitting in your inbox the general location? And he got an email from this.
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So of course I followed up with Toby and I have all that. That's to come in just a minute. That information will be sufficient. So that tuber said this information that this person has is sufficient enough to get closure. In my opinion, it would give most of us closure. Why not put that information, just general? They were clear. I don't know the exact spot, but I know the general radius. I think a lot of us would get closure on the general location, correct, Mike?
Yeah, I think so. I think it would help if people, and I don't think everybody's going to rush out there. You know, the reasoning has been, well, we can't say where it is. This is the reasoning from Jack. He can't say where it is because it's going to get destroyed. Well, what about DeLacy Creek? What about the GPS? Yes, when we got it, you and Cynthia and Justin and Tucker, the bronze sniffing dog, you guys rushed out there. It's true, but nothing was destroyed. And what about since then? Has anybody spray painted it? Has anybody destroyed anything? I know people left some personal items behind because they thought it was a spot. Some people still think it's a spot. I know that Cynthia is going to go check the spot out, I think this weekend. And I would like to know, because she posted it on Facebook. It's not a secret, because I'd like to know what the spot looks like. Has anybody done anything to that location? You know what I mean? I would just wonder. Nobody, I think those fears are unfounded. I don't think anybody's going to do anything to the spot other than go there and just sit and just look around and be like, after all these years, this was the location. Just my opinion, but I really don't think people are going to mess it up.
But it's interesting that that's what this tuber said is like, like in that one slide, that's actually what they posted. I'm concerned that the place would be destroyed. It's like, then it must be a really public place,
unless there's something
delicate,
unless there's something related to that spot that we don't know about because we don't know the spot. I mean, yeah, maybe. Yeah, has Old Faithful been ruined by the millions of annual visitors? Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, what kind of damage has there ever been done in Yellowstone? Has there been? I mean, well, we know searchers have caused damage. That's true. Somebody went to jail recently over it, right? So that's a valid point. But you're no longer looking for the chest. If you were to go to this spot, the hunt is over. You're not going to go dig. I mean, who would go dig and wait? Maybe Forrest dropped something. Maybe Jack dropped something. I think that's kind of ridiculous. But
I don't know. Part of me, and this is a stretch, but if somebody's angry enough to do some damage, maybe they're thinking about like Forrest home or something, and the forest would be a better spot. People that are going to be crazy are going to be crazy. Nothing should get damaged, but it's not going to stop someone from being crazy on some other aspect. I don't think it's protecting the family by not putting it out. Just my opinion. I'm not saying anybody owes us anything, but it's already, I didn't think it would be trickling out this quickly. So let's now, okay, so we know one tuber supposedly has the information. Let's talk to the tuber, or let's discuss what the tuber that Jack wrote or actually says in his own words, I was going to be on AGK. What does that tuber have to say? So Mike, back to the PowerPoint, because we're now in phase 2 of our investigation.
Oh, we're not done. You guys thought we were done with the conclusions. Oh no, there's a postscript. All right, here we go.
Oh, that's where, in case we hadn't discussed. Okay, so Jack's claims about AGK. So, next slide. So, cognitive bias video that was posted by Jack, and it was before. This is this quote from the first minute, and thank you to the researchers that helped me with this. Hey guys, this is Jack, new YouTube channel. This is my first video. There's some stuff between this, but I'm just getting to the beginning. I was originally supposed to talk about this on AGK, and I guess they had some scheduling changes, so I decided to put together a little slideshow on thoughts on cognitive bias. And then he goes on and he talks about it. You guys know the video I'm talking about. So after I saw this from this other tuber, it got me thinking. I asked Mike to check his emails. I thought, if you're a tuber, he seemed to really want to get a discussion going with tubers. So it got me thinking, hey, Toby. So I messaged Toby and said, hey, I'm talking to you a little bit. How you doing? And have you had any communication with Jack before? I'm going to need that up because I don't remember exactly. I want to get the wording right because you guys will villainize me otherwise. Jack talks about corresponding with you. What's the deal? And he said, like most other searchers, I had no idea Jack even existed prior to finding the treasure chest. Now, I couldn't let this go because I thought I don't want to miscommunicate, especially when we've had this much of these other things going on. I didn't tell Toby about this other tuber and all of that. I wanted it to be pure of thought. So I responded to him and said, there is a video and Jack is asserting, and we hear it in his own voice, that he had contact with AGK and the scheduling, basically that first bullet. I especially wanted AGK to know if he was emailing various tubers, and I did say that at the end of this, that he may have some information. And this is what Toby responded. As I stated earlier, I had no communication with Jack prior to the publishing of his first Medium article. We exchanged a single email. In that email, I offered him the opportunity to come on the show anytime he wanted. He responded with a polite thank you, but no thank you.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. It's a contradiction, right? Jack says, I was originally supposed to talk about this on AGK, and he means before the treasure was found. Is that correct? Yeah. So he's saying I was supposed to be on AGK, but then we reach out to Toby and Toby says, no, I never communicated with Jack prior to the publishing of his first Medium article. The only thing I can think is maybe it was a different email and Toby doesn't realize it was Jack Stoof that wanted to be on. Is that possible?
That's the only thing that makes sense, because why would Jack specifically say I was going to be on AGK? I mean, why would he say that otherwise? But why is he dropping a video? And why wouldn't he pull down that video if he didn't want that information out? Why wouldn't he pull that down before he was, supposedly out?
Well, that makes sense. So think of it this way. I'm Jack Stoof. I've been out looking for the treasure chest. I wanted to go on AGK, for whatever reason I wasn't. I talked to this searcher that we know about now. I've emailed other searchers. I find the treasure chest. I want to be anonymous. Now I can't because of a court case. I put out a Medium article where I create a brand new email address. So, hey, searchers, if you have questions, contact me. But what this means is Jack has communicated with people in the community prior to finding the chest, in my opinion, under a different email address. Now, the question is, well, how does your searcher source know it was from Jack? Probably because he put his name on it, Jack Stoof, at the end. Sure, it's a different email, but anybody can go in their Gmail and search Jack Stoof and see what comes up. I mean, I could do it right now. And if I had an email from a Jack Stoof prior to June 6th, when Forrest said it was found, I now have Jack's prior email. I don't. I already looked. But this other searcher that we know posted recently that they did. And there it is.
Well, and so David Crump asked, why was he making a video in 2019 if he apparently solved it in 2018? Doesn't make any sense. In my opinion, this is only a guess. He was so sure, and he's making videos because he wanted to be out. This is actually the premise. I think this gives much supporting evidence. Jack wanted to be out. Forrest early on wanted the solution out. Something changed. When they found it, there is a reason, other than it's going to be dangerous for searchers or whatever. There is a reason. I think it's a legal reason. This is my personal opinion, but I think there's a reason. This shows Jack was talking to AGK. Jack was talking to different tubers. Jack wanted his information out. I think he wanted the credit. He's not shy. We've seen him on video saying some pretty opinionated things. I don't know the right word to capture it. He's not a shy person. There's a reason he is not speaking more than just what he says, especially because Forrest was scheduling an interview with me. He wanted the information out. Everything points to, so this proves, I think, at least indirectly, perhaps every other disclaimer, Jack wanted his name known. He started a YouTube channel. Okay.
Joel Lewicki is in the house. What's up, Joel? I just wanted to say hi. Hi to Joel.
And Gary Countryman. He's in the room.
Hey, Gary. How you doing?
Yeah, Country Gary.
Okay. Watto Man has a good point. Watto Man says maybe Jack communicated with Shelley back then. But I think Shelley and Toby talk. If there was somebody they were going to try and have on the show, Toby would know about it. You know what I mean? I
No,
think
it's the opposite. They
is it?
much like Mike and I. Mike does soundboard and schedules everything and all that. Scheduling meaning I do panels. I schedule those things. They have a division of labor. Corresponding with searchers was not Shelley's thing because, quite honestly, too much of the community would throw hate, and it affects, I think, Shelley more than some people are really, really awful. So it's difficult to even get Shelley's direct information. Okay. It seems rather obvious that Jack was worried about lawsuits from the very beginning. Sure, he wants credit, but he fears lawsuits. Okay, it could be lawsuits, or it could be the treasure chest could be in question. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just giving you factual information, and this one, I I know it's more profound to me because I know but look at GPS guy. That source, he was, I thought, a pretty upfront person. I know he lied to at least somebody because I saw communication between everybody. So maybe I'm a bad judge of character. But this one, I think, I hope this person comes out and says it because I think if you knew the person, you would go, they're not they don't make stuff up.
Right.
They're
There's
not.
really no reason to lie.
They're not shenanigan people like me and Mike. I mean, these are reputable.
Wait, what? Well, somebody made a good point. Now, a lot of people I know have been posting the chat. Jack didn't find it. Forrest had him go get it, blah, blah, blah. Separate from that conversation, that is the Conspiracy Bridge show, if we're going to do that. What's up, Williams? Good to see you. We got a super chat from William. Wasn't there an NDA signed at the meeting with Forrest when the chest was found? Maybe the turning point of Jack's public announcement. Well, actually, you did a show on that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, William, I know you probably haven't been in all the shows. NDA and just an agreement of not disclosing. Jack clarified in an email. I don't know how true or not, but he clarified in an email that there wasn't a signed document, but there are some legal documents, but they did not sign a non-disclosure. I forget the term. It was I don't know, whatever they put in they put NDA in the court documents, but it wasn't an actual sign.
It was a verbal agreement, correct? Yeah, it was a verbal agreement between Jack and Forrest. They agreed to not say anything or whatever, but there was nothing actually signed, William. Thank you for that super chat.
Not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
That was for Kpro.
So Why Must Go is saying, seriously, make these people use their real names or ignore their theory. I know the people's real names. That's what I'm trying to tell you is if I have some handle or I actually don't ask for identifying information, but if somebody gives me something, in this case, I know the person. I mean, the person was invited to our wedding. I know a lot of you were, but this was a person Mike has met. This is a person I have talked to in length over the years. So anyway, in this case, it is somebody that So.
Okay. So I just had a thought on maybe why Jack, what?
Can I share that?
Can you share what?
Person that just messaged me that.
Oh,
okay. Hold on.
I thought you were talking to me. Go ahead. Okay. Let me just say this. So a lot of people have been posing ideas in the chat on why Jack won't come out. And so one, we think because the area will be damaged, we have to protect it is a ruse, right? He's using that as an excuse. But here's something that I think maybe does make sense. And that is, what if the solution of where the treasure chest was found is a popular one? What if Madison Junction is where warm waters halt? What if it's an area that so many people, that was their area? Jack just happens to be the one that finds it. If he comes out and says, yeah, so many people looked, but I'm the one that found it. You know how many people are going to accuse him that they stole their idea, even if that is not the case? I mean, to me, that's a consideration, in my opinion, is if it's a well-known searched area, and Jack just happened to be the one to figure out the blaze because it was damaged. And everybody else is like, I searched there. I was there so many times. That might pose some issues for him because people are going to think he stole it. People are going to think I was searched it first, so I should rightfully get it, even though I didn't find it. All that opens up a whole can of worms. So,
and that's a good point. It may be, that is a good point. Okay, there's a couple things. I like Carrie. Kpro keeps falling for it. Hey, Charlie Brown, I'll hold this football for you. I promise. That might absolutely be the case. I'm not going to say otherwise. I saw a couple other things. They are gone now. If you want to share that, it's up to you if you want to share that. I've been getting some information. It's up to you guys. Okay, so wait. Now we're
wait a minute. Somebody texts you or something, but you can't talk about it. Is that what you're saying?
I
Okay,
don't
I just
know
want to make
if I
sure
can.
I'm clear.
It's actually the
Okay.
previous email to Jack. I don't. Is that okay to post?
When you say the previous email,
The
the email we're talking about?
an email address that could be what you
Jack's
searched.
old email address?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I would not give that out. Yeah, no.
Oh, okay. Don't do that, person. Don't.
I
Hold on.
mean, I wouldn't just randomly, because if it's not, whoever owns that email address probably going to get a whole bunch of emails, and that's not fair. I wouldn't give it out personally. Even if we confirmed it was Jack's old email, I still wouldn't give it out, because what's the purpose? He has a new email. If you want to talk to Jack, there's a new email. That's just me. I mean,
Okay, Mike's voice of reason. I'm fine. Yeah. So okay.
oh, was Pat put in the chat? Is that what happened?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. This show is out of order. YouTube's out of order. Joel Lewicki's out of order. Joel, we heard your garage got broken into, so we hope everything's good there. And Copper Dan, thank you for doing what you did for Joel. That was very nice. Okay.
Oh, why must go is saying his old emails on LinkedIn. Okay, I did not know any of this. Okay, so here's where we're at this point. Okay, a tuber has said they have the general location of where he went on his first search.
Nice, Alan.
We have confirmation that his first search is where he found it. That is new information, breaking news, because it just happened today that Jack confirmed it. So we do have that confirmed.
What? I heard breaking news. What?
Okay. Then we have the third piece. We have Jack saying that he was scheduled to be on AGK and Toby saying no. So we have those three bits of information. So we know Jack was engaging with more than one tuber. If you believe any of this, if you believe Jack was the solver, if you believe blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, Czar's got a good point. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I wonder if Jack could reveal the something special that Forrest was saving just for the finder. Probably not. It probably is dangerous for children to know. I don't know. Or maybe we'll be... No, I'm sorry. That's sarcasm.
Well, Czar's got a good point. He says, what's the handle we should be looking for on Dale's site for Jack? In other words, if Jack was in the community, he wanted to be on AGK, he made his own video. You know, he posted on Dale's blog. Everybody's posted on Dale's blog. We don't know is the problem, but it's interesting that Jack isn't some stranger that was searching and he happened to find it. He was around is kind of the point of tonight's show. 3D Bronze with another super chat. Jack, sell me the scissors already or cut it out. Thanks for that super chat. 3D Bronze.
My God, do you ever stop talking?
That wasn't directed at anybody in particular. That was just a random soundboard super chat. Okay.
Okay. After this show, it will be at least 2 hours of me getting through messages and emails. Oh my gosh. So you guys, at least this shows me you guys are kind of excited about it, but I have another piece to this. Well, important question. When's the pool party? We're at least a month out. Where it's 110 here in Vegas. So let's go back. Let's go back. I don't remember where we're at.
Oh, I don't think we're done with the PowerPoint yet. Okay.
No, I know we have another thing to talk about. Okay. So I mean, Toby's basically saying no. And I'm like, are you sure? He said this, he said that. And I'm sure Toby's going, I was clear. And the answer is no, as I stated earlier, like he said. Okay. So now let's go to... okay, we discussed. So this is the ending piece to this part. And then I'm going to make a clarification on a piece that Jack has made to a couple searchers that he never said there was a note in the treasure chest. And I want to tell you why I think he kind of said it without saying it, but I will get into that in a second. So, okay, Billy Shaw. Go ahead, Mike. No, go back one.
Oh, you just said go ahead.
Go back one.
All right, hang on. Right here? Okay. Oh, Billy Shaw super chat. I didn't see that. Yeah, all right. Thank you, Billy Shaw, for the $5 super chat. He says this would mean that the tuber has it likely narrowed down to a football field size, since that's about the size of area Jack had it narrowed down to. That is very interesting, and that is the breaking news of tonight. But it's also possible
he needs some milk.
Maybe Billy Shaw Jr. needs some milk, but yeah, thanks for the super chat. Yeah, that's kind of why we wanted to talk about this, because we think it's important. And again, two can't keep a secret. It's going to get out. All right, go ahead, Kpro.
Two things. One, Jack said he figured out where Forrest wanted to die, and then he figured out where the treasure chest was. So if you know where the football size is, you can start backing it up, I would assume, and getting WWWH. Queen Anne said, when Jack came out as the finder, Shelley from AGK said on their show to Toby that he did contact them. It was on her show, and they said that.
That Jack did contact them?
That's what Queen Anne is saying. That would be interesting because that's not what Toby is saying at this point.
Well, it's obvious we need Toby to take a polygraph test.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know. That would be interesting to see if that's the case. And somebody reach out to Toby and ask him. Maybe he'll address it in a future show, or he can come on here and address it. Toby, you know you're always welcome here on the show. Okay. Back to the PowerPoint.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
You know that the trailheads, there are books for people to sign in and write the location of where you're going. Has anyone checked those books to see if Jack signed the area? If you knew what area I mean, Wyoming, I don't know. So I don't know. Kpro, if this searcher is who I think it is, that means I know the area this person was talking about when Jack first searched. I will not confirm or deny who it is. So if you're making conclusions based on that, maybe. I remember that Kpro, Toby forgot. Well, Toby forgot again 24 hours ago. That would be odd. If you ran Toby's a pretty smart fella, and if he went years putting in tubing in the Forrest Fenn hunt and the finder says I was going to be on AGK and Toby forgot.
Yeah, they would have went live with that. Yeah.
And Shelley remembered, and then Toby forgot again.
Or Jack has sworn Toby to secrecy. Maybe Jack's just spreading money. Everybody, he's just paying people off.
You know what? He wanted all the tubers to go away. He only referenced Dale and Jenny to me. Maybe.
I would say Jack got everybody to go away except for me and you and the community. But that's true. And Troy. Troy still makes videos. Why must I go on YouTube?
Yeah, and Mike Nelion says, how did the tuber realize that Jack contacted them in 2018? Said he did a search.
And we're assuming that means just search Jack Stoof through their emails and was like,
oh, just Jack. I did
maybe
just
Jack. Yeah, maybe. But the important part is the source searcher reached out to Jack and said, hey, you sent me this before you found it. And Jack was like, oh, that's right. Don't tell anybody. Don't put that out there. And this person at this point has said, okay, I won't, but you never know. They may change their mind. We'll see.
I find that probably the most fascinating that Jack says, because Jack's putting all this crap out thoughtful responses to our emails because he wants us to get out in the wilderness, right? Well, you have a tuber that he is told where the information is, and now he's asking that person the opposite of what he's doing with the rest of us of, get out there and discuss and all of that. So I don't know. It seems something doesn't make sense with the AGK part too. So there's more. I think when something doesn't make sense, there's usually something to it. If Toby's shows are still up, not deleted, it will be in the discussion.
Yeah, somebody find that and send us a link, please, because then we'll be like, Toby busted. Yeah, it would be interesting to hear his explanation if on a show live they said, yeah, Jack did contact us. So yeah, we'll see.
Interesting. Okay, so let's go to the third and final part that I just want to clarify because I've gotten this so many times, and I was actually going through the database and found this. So
I'm still unclear on if there was a legal document or not, but here, Kpro's going to explain it here, right?
So here is my opinion. You might not agree with it, but this is why I thought. So why I thought the treasure chest had a legal document in it and by the finder. So here is what was in one of the emails. Do you still have the instructions left by Forrest in the chest? Is that image an image you can share or that you can reveal or would that reveal more than you're comfortable with? Even a partial image would be amazing. And his answer isn't, no, there's no document. No, there's no image I can provide. No, it would be too much. His answer is, I don't want to put out any of our legal documentation. So then that would mean, by logic, that would mean the instructions left by Forrest is the legal documentation. He considers that document. He first affirms that by his answer that there was instructions, but he considers it legal documentation. So says, sorry, I don't want to put out any of our legal documents. If there was no document, his answer would have been,
just say no, right?
There's no document, or I don't want to discuss that not I don't want to put out our legal documentation. I think this is a slip up. If he
Well,
didn't want this out, it's a slip
but-
up. It's out. There's a document and he considers it legal.
But what if there is a legal document, but it wasn't in the chest? In other words, what Jack said is, I don't want to put out any of our legal documentation. What if there was a call my lawyer, and in case Forrest was gone, he had a legal document for the finder with his lawyer or something. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
So Jack was asked by a searcher. Kpro said that there were some instructions in the chest, and he's like, I never said that. I'm not saying that. Right, but you kind of did by this. Whether you said there is a legal document or instructions in the chest, I believe by this answer, he is saying, I don't want to put out any of our the person asked, do you still have the instructions left in? There's no wiggle room in my mind. This one is, yeah, he could have said it more direct, like, yes, there is a document, but no, I'm not. It is considered legal documentation. But this is all but that. In my opinion, this isn't even a far leap of logic. This is pretty obvious. And I know he probably didn't want it out, but these are the slip ups that happen when you email thousands of people.
Hashtag slip ups. All right, there it is. Another Kpro PowerPoint to get the information out to the Thrill of the Chase community. It's an interesting one. I think it's breaking news that there is another searcher and another popular searcher, a YouTuber searcher that may know the general vicinity of the chest. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. If that person wants to reach out to us, they are welcome to come on. Of course, they can make their own video. They can do whatever they want. But nice, Zozo. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at, everybody. But we did think it was important to get it out. This was posted somewhere. I don't know if we've actually said where it was posted or not, but then it was deleted. But we
Cowlazars Grand Adventure on Facebook. And actually,
you did say that.
I got several emails about why is it deleted? Why did you delete it?
And we
did not delete. We did not delete. Moderators did not delete this. This was deleted by the original poster, which everyone has the right to do, but lots of people have screen captures. Like I told the person, did you realize that you just blew up the internet because of what you put? It's pretty big. That's big that a searcher knows, let alone a tuber that would be, I think, pretty accepted if they came out to say this. And I mean, I think it's pretty big. Could the FOIA give that information if it's a legal document? No, because that only a FOIA only is applicable to government agencies. So I don't think a government agency could, I mean, maybe they didn't want it to be subpoenaed within any of the lawsuits, but a FOIA, that's only for government agencies and sometimes nonprofits, depending on the situation. And we don't have that here. We have all the people are, within.
So I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to put the link to our Facebook group, which is the Grand Adventure, Cowlazars and Kpro's Grand Adventure. That's where this discussion happened yesterday, or let's just say over the weekend. Let's just say. So if anybody, it's a free group. You can go join it. All our links when we go live are put there. And you guys will, there's a lot of discussion happening there. Hint of Riches is, I think, the only forum left where people can, maybe other than Reddit, where people can post their ideas and have discussions about the Thrill of the Chase. So there's a link to the Hint of Riches, the Forrest Fenn Thrill of the Chase forum. Here's your last chance to get another treasure hunt, and that is the Hunt for History in Indiana for 12 pounds of silver. We're going to give one away for free. Thank you again to Atlantic Coast, Rick, who sent that to us. Go comment on that video that I just put in the chat, and we will do a random comment picker. And again, you've got to contact us. You've got to let us know in the chat here that you're here. You've got to actually be watching in order to win.
Okay, so and I think it was Lucky said the searcher could just be making an arse out of you and me, or whoever. That is true. I have learned after Source One / I affectionately call him Turd. I would never assault him. Cynthia's like, if I ever see him, he's in big trouble. Yeah, I realize now that there are, I think searchers like shenanigans. So I think we learned that with Mr. Foff. I wasn't ever really sure, but it was good enough information that I confirmed with Forrest, kind of put that out there. Mike's person, I think, is a reputable person. Doesn't seem like they'd make it up, but this one, I would be shocked if the person's making it up, because that's the only option. The only option, because of all that was posted in a public forum, public Facebook page, is got an email from Jack. Let me give you some details about it. It could be destroyed. It's not in a dangerous place because of this, because of that, all of that. And Jack told me not to tell, and I corresponded with Jack after. All of that would have to be made up, or the person's insane. The person is not insane, in my opinion. That would have to be made up. I don't believe this person has that in their bandwidth. But I said that about Turd Nook guy, GPS Turd guy. So I didn't think he would make stuff up. Turd.
Well, we don't know if he did yet. I don't know. Yeah,
no,
I don't know either.
I know he lied to somebody.
Oh, well, I think there's a little case of getting caught between a rock and a hard place. So yeah, that's different than the GPS numbers, though. I understand what you're saying. All right, Steve, be nice. So Mark Connor says, has anyone retrieved Forrest Fenn's will? All wills are public records. Is that true? Maybe there's something in it for the finder. I don't know. I mean,
all wills are not public documents.
I didn't think so either.
Yeah.
But yeah, if there was a will, if I'm sure there's a will, but I'm sure the lawyer for the estate will execute that will, so that's how it works. I think. I don't think the family can override the will, can they? If they so wanted to.
No, but I believe, this is my opinion only. I believe anything Chase related would not have been put in the formal will. The formal will could have been contested. If so, I may have had some discussion with Forrest. My mom's will wasn't formally contested, but we had some tension points. I think Forrest made sure everything was very, very clean. If he had an agreement with anybody to give them something or do that, I think it would have been outside of the will, because too many crazy searchers then could subpoena the will. And gosh, you wouldn't want every single little detail of where things are going. Think of all his collectibles, who's getting what, when, why, all of that. You wouldn't want any of that. So you want to keep that out. Did the source get a wedding invitation? Yes, they did. Of course. And I was disappointed.
Did they actually attend? I'm not going to say.
Shush it.
Were they in that room? I'm not going to say one way or the other. Candy says, if it's who I think it is, I 100% believe it. Well, that means it's not you, Candy. So there you go. You just outed yourself. No, I mean, you didn't know. Yeah, whatever. It's not Candy, everybody. All right. Sorry.
And we're not narrowing it down. If we start narrowing it down, there's only so many tubers.
Yeah, we've already heard Cynthia. We've already, we're not going to say, guys, we're not going to go through lists. And then when somebody gets the right one, we just don't say anything, because then Copper Dan learned that one the hard way, I think. Anyway, okay. Craig Carter says, did you see where Kpro confirmed it was found at Mummy Cave? Wait, that's because that's not true.
Shenanigans. Shenanigans. Mike met them. Kpro did.
Oh, interesting.
See?
That's all I got to say about that. Much like Forrest Fenn.
That's what this is not about, guys. This is more about, if you are on this channel and you're not a hater, and I know some of you are, and that's fine. But the people that are, leave that dog alone. The kitty cat thinks she's really funny jumping on the dog. So little old dog. So the bigger thing is, think about this. Within a year of the treasure chest being found, a tuber knows the location. Can you say, Jack, could you screw this up anymore? If you don't want it out, you're selling your story. I didn't realize the money that Jack got. At least 12 people know. You're contacting tubers. AGK, people could confirm with AGK. I don't think Toby would flat out lie. To me anyway, or gosh, I would be really sad if he lied to me. Or maybe he had to. I don't know. There's a there. I think there's a there.
Okay, here we go. We're going, because we'll be talking for a while, but I want to give this person a chance. So this is for the Hunt for History treasure hunt. I've entered the URL in comment picker, get YouTube comments, filter out the duplicates. We have 26 unique comments. Here we go, everybody. Good luck. Lucky Digger. All right, Lucky Digger, you have won the Hunt for History treasure hunt. Now, if you already have it, just email me and let me know. Or if you don't have it, because I need an address to mail this to you. So congratulations, Lucky Digger. And thank you for watching our show. You're out there a lot. Email me, cowlazars@gmail.com, and I will get that out in the mail to you everybody who won something in our last show Thursday, those will be going out in the mail tomorrow. So congrats to everybody.
Well, and here's the thing. When Jack agreed, or he said he agreed to be on AGK, he wasn't going to give his search location. He was going to talk about cognitive bias. So I think he was going to pontificate about why you shouldn't. He didn't give his location away. So why would a tuber agree to keep this a secret? That is not a question for me, because I guess I understand maybe if you got close to Jack after, and maybe that's why Jack's corresponding with so many people. He's making side agreements. He's told people stuff. Maybe he knows his information is out with different people. That's why he's trying to, I don't know. I emailed you the link of AGK. Okay. I will look at that after the show, because if they did say it, I will circle back with Toby. He's a straight shooter, guys. To me, he's always been a good person to me. So I will find out, and maybe there's an explanation there. But sure is muddy water. So let's go to that. Let's just say Toby forgot for whatever reason. That means this solver in 2018 contacted a tuber. In 2019, that's when that one came out, contacted a tuber. I think he was wanting to get his voice out, and now all of a sudden he can't say a word. He didn't want his identity out. He didn't want this. He didn't want. Wait, you were tubing. You were putting everything out. He has a right to change his mind, but why? I say follow the money. I don't know.
Chasing Indy says every single time, Kpro, you have a lead, but you have missing pieces, and I'm the one who has the other half of the missing information. Whatever.
Hey, guess what? Hey, guess what? Indy, you have a YouTube channel. Put it out. Put it out.
Go live. So Randy's in the chat. I want to say hi to Randy, and I want to say thanks for making your response video. The treasure hunting amusement park, we had a little controversy last Thursday, but I am happy to report, for anybody that doesn't know, is that controversy was rectified. The $500 and whatever was paid to the people who found the correct location of it was in LA, a treasure hunt, even though the proxy was gone. So Randy, while I liked your video and I thumbsed it up, and I'm going to put that video in the chat right here. So everybody can go check it out and go subscribe to the Valentine Goose. You didn't actually answer the question I asked, Randy. And that question is, let's just use me for example. I get the Beacon Star. I solve it. I go to Denver. It leads me right there, but the token's gone. Do you still award your prize if a searcher goes to the location and the token is gone? So if I email you and I say, hey, this is what led me to this location, here's my solutions, and when I got there, there was nothing there, and you realize I'm right, I actually solved it, do you still give the money? Because that was the controversy with the other treasure hunt. So, yeah.
And can I give my, it might make some people upset. Can I give my thoughts about Randy's video that I told you?
Yes. Oh, that's right.
So,
now, wait a minute, everybody. Wait a minute. Maybe you guys should go watch Randy's video before he deletes it. For anybody working on the Beacon Star, go ahead.
Download it real quick. So, Randy, the one thing that you said I watch yours, especially because this guy's going for the Beacon Star. You said you have to go out there, and nobody's like going to stumble upon it, because you have to sit there and count out certain things and figure out exactly where it is. That, in my opinion, is a substantive hint.
That's a big clue.
First time I've ever seen you slip up. And I said to Mike, watch this part of the video, because I get up a little earlier than him on some days. And he's like, oh, that is a hint. Now, how huge? I mean, I don't know, but it is not going to be just like you actually have to count something out, it seems, at the final location. I thought that was breaking news for the Beacon Star. And I'm sorry if that is true or false, or I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. I don't follow the hunt enough to know, but I thought that was huge.
Well, Randy says that he would go to the location himself to verify it's missing. But if it was in fact missing, you would give the prize to that person who notified you. I think maybe you did answer it in your video. It's funny because as soon as Kpro watched your video first, Randy, and she goes, I can't believe it. Randy said he couldn't find the token. When he didn't even find the token. He had to go follow the clues in the book and count something to get there. And I'm like, well, that's GPS, right? And now once I watched the video, I'm like, yeah, maybe not. But it would make sense in order for you to lead us to a proxy that's a little bit smaller than a Forrest Fenn searcher coin. You've got to give us a way to get there. And obviously we're counting something to get there, but it is fun when you talk about the Beacon Star. So I think anyway. And I enjoy the videos you make, so keep making them. Yeah,
Mike?
Lucky Digger, make sure you email me for the Hunt for History if you're still in the room.
Okay, so that's really the majority of, well, all the content portion. We can discuss. I'm not giving up names and all of that. I do want to circle back with AGK because that's interesting if Toby forgot or whatever. There's an explanation, obviously. So, and they did pivot pretty quick. And Jack did tell me he wanted all the discussions to go elsewhere. But he told me Dale and
right.
Jenny are the ones that he got to kind of pivot. But AGK pivoted. I don't know. There's a there. The biggest thing for me, the biggest takeaway from tonight is, for me, another person knows the general location. Whether you know the exact spot, I don't know if anybody cares if it's here or 6 feet away where there was a broken blaze, rock, whatever it was. I think knowing exactly like this tuber said, knowing the general area was closure enough for me. And I think Why I Must Go is the one that said 350,000 people are screwed out of the closure. No, 349,999, and the number is going to keep going down. Two can't keep a secret when now I think more than a dozen people know, and they're not under attorney-client privilege. They're not under they might tell someone to. I mean, I think this person's reputable. They're gonna, if they said no, they said no. But what if somebody said, "Hey, what if we decided to do? What if we decide this person decided to come out and we decided to do a GoFundMe and raise $5,000 for the person to come out? Just give the general area $10,000. I mean, I don't know. I think it's all. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Team Jack broke the blaze. Huh. Question for Randy: if you do make another video, or when you make another video, from John Miller. What's up, John? He says, Randy, what type of gold coin is in the prize? And and I know we're mixing the treasure hunting amusement park with the thrill of the chase, but that's okay in my opinion. So Randy, if somebody was to find it, and I know you said you probably have to go buy a coin, what kind of coin would you buy? Is it a 1 ounce coin? Is it a half, whatever? That'd be an interesting question to know. It would be an interesting thing to know, and it might drum up interest in the Beacon Stars if you say in general how big of a gold coin. Because I think all you said is a gold coin, but is it an ounce? Is it that kind of thing? So anyway.
Okay, going back to Forrest Fenn, because we're on Monday night. Must listen good. But did you ask the source if Mr. Foff was right? I did not. This new source, I didn't, because there wasn't a lot of. Hey, guys,
damn! I didn't even think of that. Who asked that question in chat?
Must listen good.
Must listen good. Very good point. I didn't even think of that one, and I usually think of those weird things. That's a good one, isn't it?
Let's see. Lucky says Illinois Ghost put out a video at the end of 2018. He thought that someone was close. Yeah, I think he said that every year. And when it first came out, I thought he's like, I'm not going to say whether it was me or not. And it's like,
well, he had many trips to New Mexico, so I don't think it was him. But hey, maybe that was all smokescreen. Everybody, I don't know. 1 ounce, 0.999. That's what he would get.
James says, any info on why you think 12 people know? I talked to someone that is relatively close to Jack, talks to him quite regularly. Won't say who because I like getting information. And my comment was, I know of a certain number, and it was, I mean, if you talk about lawyers and et cetera, I mean, there's quite a number, 6 to 8, I thought, and I was told the number was more than double that, or about double that, or something like that. I don't know exactly what was said. And I went, wow, so like a dozen? And it was like, yeah, with all the people. I mean, because if you think about it, the lawyers know. I believe Zoe and Shiloh know because of all the Jack, Forrest, I think Peggy did know. I think some other in the family then knew. Jack told somebody in his life, whether it's his parents or somebody in his family, etc. I believe, once you get 6 people, all of them have a significant other or very close confidant, and then you just keep going and going, and then those people break up, and then or somebody says something on a wild and crazy night. I don't know. Problem with paying someone is they can't prove it. Only Jack could prove it. Yeah, but I think there's a way to authenticate emails, right? You could show if an email was authenticated. I would donate to the GoFundMe if they showed the email. I would too, and I would donate a lot. I'm just going to say.
Oh, a GoFundMe just to show Jack's email?
Yeah, of where the general went.
Right. And then they show it, but that's blacked out. Oh, what about that other GoFundMe somebody was trying to do to buy the treasure chest? Did we talk about that? Or I was just wondering what it was at. Has anybody actually donated anything? Okay, if you don't want to talk about that, what about do we have a date when that stuff's going to come out on the Photoshop issue?
Yeah. So at the beginning of this show, when Mike doesn't listen to me, I said, hey, everybody, O's report was supposed to be provided last Friday. They said they needed to do a peer review, have somebody verify the report. And so it was going to come out late this week. So we're expecting it by Friday. I don't know. Like I said earlier, I don't know if that means there is a finding. And then that means that they're verifying that, or there were no findings and they have to verify that. No idea. So we just have to wait. It's going to be about a week. I don't know. Missed it. What was the name that you're not giving out again? Missouri Dave. Don't even try it. I woke up. I'm not that smart, but
pretty funny. Missouri Dave. Hey, Missouri's a show me state. You got to tell them. Yeah.
Oh, Wymasco sent his email to some guy named Ken Tonker Lee and Shiloh Old. Let's see if anything happens. I think we need to look at is if we were journalists looking for it in 2018. Yeah, I think some 2018 databases. Some people have sent me who they thought people were on different forums and stuff. Here's a really cool thing that I have had. I posted my first posting or subscribed or whatever to Dale's posts or to Dale's site, and it started emailing me I did it with a separate email, every single response. So I have all of these responses for about 2 years. So I was actually able to look up the word Jack on all the different comments over the years. It's interesting who comes up. Do you think she would share that email for money? Great question.
Yeah, but I'm not going to get involved in that. I wouldn't pay any money for it personally, but that's just me. Everybody can do what they want to. No, we wouldn't. Yes, because what if it's done, the money's given, the email's showing, and it's like a nothing burger? Like, is that really a general area? Like Wyoming, or I mean, just something to where this searcher thought it was, that's it. But when we read it, we're like, that doesn't give you a general area. What if it's one of those gray area things? And then it's like, give me the money back. Well, you're not going to get the money back.
I think there would need to be a clear delineation. There would need to be some trust. In my opinion, I trust this person. I would probably say, look, we would help put that together. But we need to know up front, like, is this a general area more than 2 miles? Is it this? Is it that? Or maybe even want to see it. And then under an NDA, I'd sign an NDA to say, okay. And then I'd say, yeah, hey guys, if you should believe me or don't contribute to this kind of thing. Must listen good. I did not say that. I read Holy's comment. That is all I did.
Yep. I'm a private dancer, a dancer for money. Who knows who that is? I do. Save your money for comic books, John Miller says. I'm always on the lookout for another collection to snag.
No, now the comic book collector guys are actually contacting him. Hey, I just scored a big collection.
Yeah, do you want to buy it? Yeah.
Stop it. Hey, you guys,
gotta move
stop
first.
it. You need to get through me. No, CJ, I did not slip up the comment. Go read what Holy posted. And I've already said, guys, there's several in the chat that, some people are actually already subscribed to the Cowlazars Grand Adventure. Many people that I know in here right now have already. So I'm not saying anything.
The cool thing about the Grand Adventure is sometimes we do our own little treasure hunts. They're called Grand Adventures. And sometimes we have cool prizes. And sometimes cats are involved.
Oh my gosh, whatever. Okay, so we talked about photo analysis. My drink's empty. We talked about photo analysis. We talked about general location. And Tuber, if you are watching, I wouldn't mind getting GoFundMe together. Just saying. Yeah, Kpro has been saying I've said both. I've said they. I've said that. So stop it. That is not what this is about. Why are you guys focusing on the wrong thing? We have breaking news that I believe somebody else knows. Not someone related to, but an actual person that was a tuber searcher. So that means Jack was corresponding with people. Everyone, go search. I saw get a Kpro
yeah.
drink. I think you search your emails. That's just my opinion, but I think it's interesting. Is that the only two? If we know right now within a year, corresponded with two like celebrity searchers, I hate that term, but how many more are out there? How many of the people that actually walked away, like Flipside hasn't been around in a while, Decall hasn't been around. What if they have emails sitting with the location in their email?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, everybody search your email for Jack Stoof. Maybe you'll find something. The problem is now you're going to get emails from 4 people that say, I found one, look. And it says, Kpro, you're not allowed to go to Forrest Fenn's house or something else stupid. And it's going to be like, who do you believe and who do you not believe? You know what I mean?
Well, and that's what actually I think it's a good point. So some like ridiculous person posted a fake email that said, yeah, that they were like, oh, you're not allowed. I'm not allowing Kpro in my house because Peggy and I had a long discussion. Peggy didn't know me well enough. It was completely made up. Somebody sent it to me and I'm like, guys, just laugh it off. Some people need to be better friends with Forrest. Great. Let them have that. But that's what I'm saying here. What I'm saying here is this is a person, in my opinion, I believe I know the person, or I feel I know the person. Okay. Remind me never to try to hide something from Kpro. Randy, wasn't me.
We still need to make the Santa Fe video. I got to get that downloaded, huh? It's coming. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel because we have some things coming up which could be interesting to certain people. And then on Thursday, the Treasure Hunting Amusement Park, we're going to have a brand new treasure hunt, everybody. They are going to be on the show Thursday. So check it out. Brand new one. I had never heard of it before. It's actively in Arizona, but they have plans to go throughout the country. So make sure you guys subscribe and tune in Thursday to the Treasure Hunting Amusement Park.
Okay, that is all I have. We've been going an hour and a half, more than an hour and a half. We haven't eaten dinner, so we're going to go. We usually try to beforehand because we are starting to.
So let me say this real quick. And Randy, if you're bored tonight and you feel like making a video, I'm going to pose this to you because you are a treasure hunt creator that has a proxy item. And it relates to the thrill of the chase. What did Forrest say? You're not going to stumble across that treasure chest. You have to figure out what the clues mean and it'll lead you to it, blah, blah, blah. But Jack caught Forrest slipping up and found the general area according to Jack by these interviews. And then he kind of, so in my opinion, he backtracked the clues to fit the area because he figured out the area first. So my question to you, Randy, if you feel like making a video and you have a slow night is, what if somebody finds the location of the Beacon Star token? They get there, the Beacon Star token is gone, but they didn't actually crack every single puzzle in the book. Somehow they figured out the location, but they didn't actually solve everything. They somehow either circumvented a puzzle. And I think you yourself have said there's different ways you can figure out how it's hid and search every park, or you could figure out where it's hid down to the inch or two. Is there a line where if somebody gets to the final location and the proxy is gone, where you don't award the prize? That's what I'm getting at. Forrest Fenn never thought anybody could have figured out his location by a slip up he did in an interview. He always said there's 9 clues in the poem that'll lead you right to it. I don't think he ever thought that anybody could have figured out the location without figuring out those 9 clues, but it happened. These things happen. So Randy, my question to you is, if somebody was to figure out where your proxy item is without solving all the clues in your book, would you award it to them if they have the proxy item? Not somebody randomly finds it, but they figure out enough clues to figure out the general area and they figure it out. Or if somebody does the same thing, but the proxy item's gone, do you not award it? And that's what happened with It's in LA, a treasure hunt. He says, quotation fingers, my terms and conditions say if the proxy item is moved or gone, I don't have to award anything because that nullifies this treasure hunt. You know, I was just wondering, what is the case when you would not give the award? In the case of Forrest Fenn, the treasure was there. Whoever got to it would win it. There is no proxy item, so there is no question of ownership. And Jack even called to get permission. But yeah, it's an interesting thought when you have treasure hunts or when you're planning a treasure hunt to think about these different scenarios of how things can go down.
I think the right thing to do was award exactly what Beth did and exactly what this person did. Genetic Blend did a search where Jen and I was the boots on the ground. Jen out in California, who happened to be the person that found this one as well. We went out and it was missing. And Beth did you have 24 hours, guys, because if somebody picked it up, that's why you put a proxy out. It doesn't, I mean, it was like a painted rock. And after 24 hours we got the award, or reward. We got the treasure. So I mean, it's up to each person. I just think if somebody goes out there, especially if it's somebody that's working on it for years and years, been out many times, I think they did the right thing. I think that's what Randy will say if I were to guess. And I know you have to count something when you get out there. Anyway, so okay, guys. Why won't anyone answer the question? Is Carl Sumner's also representing Jack? X marks the spot? No, he's not. He can't. That would be a conflict of interest. He had to get a separate person. Jack supposedly asked Carl, and Carl gave him a separate attorney. And he has a separate attorney. There you go. I answered it for you. How do you like that? Okay. So yeah, you guys are all guessing different people. I don't know any of these names. I know none of these people.
Maybe Kpro made it up. No, she didn't. She didn't make it up. She did not make it up. This actually happened. There is a searcher. And for anybody who tuning in late, there's a searcher who claims that Jack emailed them his general vicinity of his first search before the treasure chest was found. And Kpro proved it through her investigative skills that the first place he searched is in fact where he found the treasure chest. So we believe there is a searcher / YouTuber out there who knows the general vicinity. And there it is. That is the breaking news for tonight. And we look forward to Randy's video that he's going to make tonight. # Morse code. Okay. And I apologize. That's right. I forgot. The solution to your triangle video was 1 ounce gold coin. So yeah, it's always been a 1 ounce gold coin, which is about $2,000. So, okay. But that's enough of the beacon star. All right. Thanks, Kpro. It is very interesting how you put things together. I think it helps a lot of people. And yeah, we're going to keep doing it, guys. Every Monday night, Forrest Fenn Treasure Found, and every Thursday, the Treasure Hunting Amusement Park. So make sure you subscribe. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. It's been fun. It's been real. I know I have tons and tons and tons of messages you guys were doing. You guys are sending them. I was trying to read. I'm going to be backlogged, but that's the fun of Monday nights for me. This is when Mike goes and does video games or TV or whatever he does. # he's making me hate TV. He is making me hate TV, you guys. We'll leave with that.
Kpro can't stand violence of any kind. Somebody just gets shot and she's like, turn it off. Right?
No, someone goes and tortures people and takes an axe and
Russell Crowe. It can't be that bad.
He murders them and then goes to their family and
it's a movie. It's not.
No, real. I don't need like yuckiness. Like give me aliens, give me Bigfoot more than
okay.
Like,
we can do that tonight.
We don't need violence. we need more happiness because positivity always triumphs over negativity.
That's true.
Some guy that I married that said that. That's what I want to focus on. Okay, thanks guys. It's been awesome. CJK's here now. Thank you for being here. You guys have been fun. We're going to continue just to report what we see. This one came out of nowhere. And then there's some other things that are happening in the treasure hunting amusement park. And we will continue to look at that old abandoned shut down ride because it's not over yet. We're all sitting in front of it. This is like a high school football game and you have all the people from high school back for their reunion and they're all sitting around looking at that ride going, yeah, I remember back in the day I did this or did that. That's what we are. That's what we do here. That's
Or is this really a Twilight Zone episode where we're still stuck on the Forrest Fenn roller coaster? We just don't know it. You know how a coaster stops and everybody's upside down stuck? Is that where we are? Is that what it's come to? I don't know. You guys tell us. All right. Thanks, everybody. We will be live Thursday. Go to subscribe to the Chasing Vegas channel because you never know. Next time we're going live is down on Fremont Street, and that gets a little crazy. And if there is a snake, I'm going to talk Kpro into it for sure. Okay.
I will get on a roller coaster before I will touch a snake.
The roller coaster at the top of the stratosphere.
I don't know what you just said.
Yeah.
Missed out on Beverly Hillbillies. Never saw it. Gunsmoke. Never saw it.
Well, that's
the Ponderosa. I have no idea what that is. Urkel.
How about Dallas? How about JR in Dallas? He's going old school.
So you know what? My mom kind of had the showdown with my dad. Whatever night it was on, she's like, I'm putting on Dallas and JR Ewing
Who
is
shot JR?
like,
Everybody knew. That.
yes. And my dad's like, no TV. And she's like, sorry. And like, she didn't put her foot down very often. She was just a happy-go-lucky person. When my dad was kind of a overbearing person, and she's like, I have to know what happened. I don't care. It's not gonna like destroy the kids to have 1 hour. So I did watch like the guy with the big hat. I just remember the big hat guy. That's all I remember. So
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for the super chats. We do appreciate that. And I will get out the prizes this week, the Chaseopolies and everything else that we gave away. So, okay, we'll see you. Let me know. We look forward to that video if you make it, Randy. What's the event that you wouldn't give out your prize to the person who finds the location? Proxy there or not. Okay, see you.
Randy, if that's your real name.
Oh, but hashtag what would Putnam do?
Okay,
all right.